Hello year one, and today we're looking at the opposite of doubling. So yesterday we were doing doubling. For example, if you were doubling 2, you would have 2 add 2 double 2 making 4. And today we're looking at the opposite of doubling, when you cut things in half. So for example, I have 4 cubes here, but if I want to split them in half, half of 4 will be 2. So it's the exact opposite. So we're going to quickly run through this nice and simply today, because next week we're going to go into it in far more detail, because on Monday we're starting our new topic, fractions, which is one of my favourite topics in year one. I think you'll all enjoy it, to be honest. It's very good. Last year's class loved it, that's all I'm saying. So let's go for it, okay? So today we're looking at halving. I'm going to go through it very slowly and very simply, okay? And by the end of this, we want to be able to know whether something is shared in halves equally or not, whether it's shared fairly. So first things first, there's a little bit of revision of counting in twos. So it says the animals went in 2 by 2 on Noah's Ark, counting in twos. So we're going to count in twos on our fingers. This might be quite difficult for me to do while I'm pressing this, but we'll try our best anyway. Okay, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So I've done 10 fingers so far. I'm on 10 sets of 2. That's got me up to 20. Let's see what's next. I'm going to have to start again on the same fingers, remembering that I've already used 10. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. So I just used another 5. It's hard to do 2 things at once here. So I used 10 sets of 2 and another 5 sets of 2. So I used 15 sets of 2. There are 15 sets of 2 in 30. Let's just check that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That's 10. That's 10 so far. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Add another 5. So 10 sets, add 5 sets, 15 sets of 2. Okay. Anyway, let's get into our halving here. So fair share. Do the children have the same? Let's see. Now, do the little girl and her friend have the same amount of toy cars? They clearly don't, do they? What could you do you think? What could you do to make sure that they actually do have an even amount, it's the same each, an equal amount? What would this little boy have to do? I can hear lots of people thinking at home, he has to give some to his friend, doesn't he? Let's see how many he has to give to her so they both have the same amount. So we've shared them in half. So we had 8 cars altogether, and now they have 4 each. So half of 8 is 4. And the opposite, double 4, takes you back to 8. Okay, this time, halving is a special way of sharing fairly. It is sharing 2 groups so that each group is the same size. So we've got 4 sweets here. What can we do, year one? So these are shared equally. How many will they get each so they both have the same? Because it wouldn't be fair if I give the boy 3 and the girl 1, would it? You wouldn't like that, would you? If you had to share with your brother and sister. Alex, if you had to share with Amy, you wouldn't be happy if she got 3 and you got 1, would you? I don't think so. Let's see. 1 each. And a second 1 each. So half of 4 is 2. Half of 4 is 2. And they're both equal. Okay. Halving hippo eats half of everything he sees. What will he eat and what will be left? So halving hippo, he wants to eat half of these. We've got 6 plants. He wants to eat half now. But he thinks he might be a little bit hungry later, so he's going to keep half for later on. So what do you think will be half of 6? Well, I would just chop those right down the middle, keep this 3, and eat this 3. As you can see, he eats 1, 2, 3, and he keeps 3 for later. So they're both equal numbers, they're both the same, they're both half. Okay, this time he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pizzas. You can show that in your fingers. Now you can actually use your fingers to split those into 2 groups. What is half of 10? I'll have a group of 5 and another group of 5. And remember, it's just doubles. Double 5 is 10. Half of 10 is 5. Double 5 is 10. Half of 10 is 5. So he's going to eat 5 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's kept the other 5. He ate 5 whole pizzas. That's crazy, isn't it? Don't know anyone who could manage that. Okay. Now, you are going to have a little halving activity sheet. Hard to explain on here because it isn't actually showing up on the other page. Anyway, there's 3 versions. You don't need to do all 3 of them, okay? This one's going to be the easiest one. This is going to be the hardest one. We're not actually going to look at the middle one. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to share out pictures of different food. If you do the first one, share out pictures between Halving Hippo's stomach, the ones he's going to eat, and the ones he's going to keep on his plate for later. But remember, they both have to be the same. They both have to be equal. The amount he keeps and the amount he eats. Then, the slightly harder version, but similar, is that you're going to have some of these little sunflowers, I believe they are, and you're going to have to share them out. He's going to eat half of them now, half of them later, but you're doing a little investigation. You want to see which numbers you can put in half and which numbers you can't. For example, let me get my cubes here. So I have a nice little pattern. I have 6 cubes, and if I wanted to share 6 in half, I would have 3 and 3, so half of 6 is 3. But if I actually had 5 cubes, can I share that in half? There's no way I can do it where they're both the same. One person's always going to have more than the other. So we're going to come into that next week as well. That's going to be something for you to look at today. Which numbers can be halved and which numbers can't? Can you spot any patterns? Next week we're going to look at something called odd and even numbers. Your mum and dad might mention it to you when you're doing this little investigation, but I'll give you a clue. Counting in 2s, that's your clue, okay? See if you can work out which numbers can be halved. Anyway, best of luck with that. Shout out today to Harmony. Well done on the bingo, Harmony, you're very lucky. Also shout out to Ian and Jasper, our other 2 winners. Ian actually won one of the bingo games with the first 3 numbers that were called out, so I think he's extremely lucky this week. Good luck, Ian. Hopefully you win the lottery or something and you can share some of your money with me, okay? Don't forget me now, okay? See you later on. Bye-bye.